What's up, everybody? It's your boy Heaven Hollywood. We're back on the IE Network with a special deep dive. Today, we're tackling a subject that is bigger than just one artist. We're talking about why Drake filing this lawsuit against Universal could open up a can of worms that he really doesn't want open. In other words, Drake could be next. History has shown us that when black artists and moguls challenge major corporations, the consequences are swift and severe. Let me break it down for you a little more because trust me, this is just not about Drake. It's a pattern that's been repeated over and over again. Let's start with Bill Cosby. Back in the late 80s and early 90s, Cosby was at the height of his career. He was the star of The Cosby Show, which was not only a massive success, but a cultural phenomenon. Now, Cosby wasn't just satisfied with being a star, he wanted to be a boss. That's when he made a bid to purchase NBC, one of the biggest TV networks in the world. NBC, owned at the time by General Electric, was a powerhouse in American media. Controlling it would have put Cosby in a position of unprecedented power for a black man in entertainment. But as soon as his plans became public, the backlash started. Allegations of sexual misconduct, some dating back decades, began to surface. Now, whether the allegations are true or not isn't the point here. It's the timing. Why did all of this come to light just when Cosby was trying to break into big business? Was it a coincidence or was someone trying to send a message? Stay in your lane. Either way, it derailed his ambitions and permanently tarnished his legacy and landed him in prison. Then there's Michael Jackson, the king of pop. In the late 80s, Michael made a brilliant business move. He bought the ATV catalog, which included publishing rights to the Beatles' music. This was a huge deal. Music publishing is where the real money is in the industry. By the early 2000s, Michael's control of this catalog made him one of the most powerful figures in music. Sony, one of the biggest entertainment companies in the world, wasn't happy. At the time, Sony was led by Tommy Mottola, and Michael didn't hold back when he called him out, even referring to Mottola as the devil. Michael accused Sony of trying to sabotage his career and take control of his catalog. What happened next? The child abuse allegations resurfaced, lawsuits, media scrutiny, and damaged headlines dominating his later years, distracting from his business move and ultimately leading to financial troubles and then his death, which a lot of people still say was a murder. Sony, by the way, is no small fish. It's a global conglomerate with interests in music, film, technology, and more. Challenging a company like that is no easy task, and the fallout Michael experienced shows how ruthless they can be. More recently, we have Diddy, who's been a trailblazer in music, fashion, and spirits. Diddy was instrumental in making Ciroc vodka a household name. But behind the scenes, things weren't as smooth as they seemed. In 2023, Diddy sued Diageo, the parent company of Ciroc and De Leon tequila, claiming racial discrimination. Diageo is a massive player in the liquor industry, owning brands like Johnnie Walker, Guinness, and Smirnoff. Diddy alleged that the company deliberately neglected his brands, limiting their potential and keeping them out of urban markets. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Shortly after the lawsuit, rumors and bad press about Diddy started to bubble up. Lawsuits, civil lawsuits, that turned into eventually a criminal lawsuit. Even 50 Cent weighed in, saying he believes these lawsuits often bring retaliation from the corporations being challenged. And we all know 50 Cent is no one to defend Diddy. Diageo, like Sony and NBC, has the resources to play hardball, and Diddy's situation shows how messy things can get when you take them on. Now, of course, Diddy bought a lot of these things on themselves, but that's not really the point. The point is that a lot of people are making is would these people have been coming out of the woodwork? Where did they come from? A lot of people believe that it was Diageo that contacted these people. They believe that Diageo contacted Cassie Ventura and urged her to go through with the lawsuit. Because remember, there was rumors that she and Diddy had cut off talks. And a lot of people are saying their theory is Diageo contacted Cassie Ventura and paid her to file a lawsuit against Diddy, allegedly. And because they knew of his history with Cassie, it was much easier, of course, and that's the reason why, allegedly they used Cassie because she was the one with the receipts. So it was easier to use her because she was the one with the receipts. She was in a relationship with him for years. So yes, that part he bought on himself. But the point a lot of people are making and a lot of theory is if he would have never challenged them, these lawsuits would not be happening. This pattern isn't new, ladies and gentlemen. Let's look at Prince, for example, my favorite artist of all time. Rest in peace to the greatest artist of all time. He fought Warner Brothers for years over ownership of his music, even changing his name to a symbol as a form of protest. During this battle, he was painted as difficult and erratic, which hurt his mainstream appeal. In the end, a lot of people feel as though that the death of Prince is just not a coincidence that it happened as soon as he got his music back. Coincidence? Maybe. But a lot of people don't feel as though, especially Prince fans. These things happen too often for it to just to be a coincidence. Or Kanye West, when he called out Adidas and Gap over their business practices. Suddenly his controversies became the main story. Every misstep, every tweet, every rant, things he's been doing for years. All of a sudden they were amplified to the point where his business partnerships crumbled. Even Monique, on a lower scale, the comedian, has a story. When she publicly accused Netflix of racial and gender discrimination, she faced backlash and blackballing in Hollywood. It wasn't until years later that she started to, rebuild her reputation and career at least a little bit. So, how does all this tie back to Drake? All right, he's suing Universal Music Group, one of the most powerful entities in the music industry, if not the most powerful. Universal owns labels like Republic, Capitol, and Def Jam, controlling the careers of countless artists. Now, Drake has kept his image mostly clean so far, but if this lawsuit escalates, history suggests he could face retaliation. Maybe it'll be lawsuits, maybe it'll be scandals, or maybe it'll be leaked stories about alleged misconduct. The whispers about previous settlements could suddenly grow louder. Listen, here's what we know. When you challenge the system fights back. So, what can Drizzy do to protect himself? There's a few things that I suggest. One, control the narrative, brother. Stay ahead of any stories by being transparent with your fans. Jump out ahead of it if there is anything out there that you think can possibly come out. Stay ahead of it. Control the narrative. All right? Invest in your legal team. You're going to need the best lawyer, which I'm sure he does have, but you're going to need great lawyers. Get lawyers that, are experts at this. Get you you know, expert PR team, right? That can shut down that are experts in shutting down, you know, bad publicity, rumors, and everything else, narratives. You have to hire certain people for that. Do it. Build alliances, build new alliances, teaming up with other artists, not the artists that you were teamed up with before, and some industry insiders. That's the big thing now. Influencers, industry insiders, YouTubers, bloggers, they're like main media now, especially in hip hop. Get with some people who can help you gain some leverage. Keep your circle tight. Avoid giving anyone an opportunity to tarnish your reputation and stay out of trouble. Lay low. Don't do anything that could be misconstrued as misconduct, especially with women. Drake is one of the most influential artists of this generation, and he's got a lot to lose. He needs to play this smart, or he could become another cautionary tale. Look, guys, this isn't about conspiracy theories. It's about recognizing a pattern. When black artists and moguls challenge major corporations, the pushback can be brutal. I'm not saying this will happen to Drake, and I hope it doesn't, but history makes it hard to ignore the possibility. So, what do you guys think? Is Drake stepping into dangerous territory, or is just business as usual? Let me know down in the comments. This is your boy Heaven Hollywood, and this has been another installment of Deep Diving on the IE Network. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Peace.